Well, welcome back. I figured it's a good time to terminate my instances again. So I looked at my history of the terminate instance command just so I don't have to mistype something, because sometimes I don't add the S and then it won't work. So you have to know the commands. So looking up the prior commands is not a bad thing. And I'm just going to take both my instances that are running and terminate them. Cool. They're shutting down first, then they'll terminate. So if I click in AWS, by the way, this is just an AWS CLI. So these are Amazon command line interface commands. So AWS, the command, EC2's a sub of it, or an argument, terminate instances, and then you have the arguments here too. Okay, so lots of stuff. And it's pretty cool. Now, I could create an instance that way, but it's a little tricky, not too much. There's a few things that you need. So I often come in to create an instance, although I have automated creating instances in the past. If I'm going to create a bunch for, say, a class. So I'm going to launch an instance. And I'm going to call this my firewall. Oh, I don't like to use caps. My firewall, AWS. And let's come down here. Of course, I need my key pair, main. I'm going to leave, I'm keeping with my first launch wizard security group, because that's the one I've been changing. And once again, when it comes to security groups, these are network-based firewalls. You probably want to create certain ones and name them appropriately. Right now, my launch wizard one, if I remember right, allows for SSH on port 22 and HTTP on port 80. Okay, those are the two things that it allows. And it allows all outgoing. I don't like that, but I'm going to leave it that way for now. Advanced details. This is where I'm going to scroll all the way down here, and I'm going to put in some user data here. So, and I have this, I've used it frequently to set up Apache systems, and then I'm just going to echo firewalls rule into var www html index.html. Yeah, that should be where it's at. I'm going to copy this just so I can paste it in my video. In fact, vi userdata.text insert paste. Sweet, have it right there. Cool. So I'll paste it down below. Just remember that these right here are not allowed as a YouTube video comment, so I'll just put not allowed. So and I'll do it twice, hopefully, so that you know that's what it is. There's two of them. Okay, cool. And launch instance. So this should create my EC2 Linux instance, configure it, install Apache, get it up and going, and create a web page, but it's not a real web page, it just has text in it. Cool, so I click here. I think last time I did this, I had some problems. So, but here we have the public DNS. I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to come here and I'm going to SSH ec2-user at and the IP, well, the DNS name, and I'm in. It's that easy, not hard at all to create a new system. So get rid of your old systems so you don't get charged for them. Create new ones. In fact, when you set up a system, plan for failures. Plan for one to get blown away and just spawn a new one. So that's the best way to do it. Cool. So I'm logged in. Now I just want to check if this is working. http // paste that /index.html, and yeah, firewalls rule. Sweet, right there. So we do have our web up and going. We have the port open. Sweet. Okay, now let's play with firewalls. Firewalls are something to help keep our systems safe. So first of all, let's do sudo netstat-tnlp. And we can see that I'm doing port 22 and port 80. Now there's also this one. This is on every interface. This is TCP6. Interesting. That's maybe why one of my things didn't work before. So this is on TCP6. This is TCP4 everywhere. So interesting. Things change all the time. So I'm surprised we're still using TCP4, IPv4, because IPv4 was supposed to go away forever ago, but it's still around. There are certain things that are supposed to be going away soon, and we think you have a good time. So for example, the current way that we do encryption is going to break in 5 to 10 years. We have a plan to replace it in 10 years. So we probably need to worry about that and speed up that timeline. But TCP6, cool. Let's do first install. Let's install Firewalld. That's a very common one. So sudo yum-y install firewalld. This is going to go ahead and install firewalld for me, and I believe by default it's working. So sudo, oh, I don't think I need sudo to run firewall-cmd. Is it? I think it's --state. So I can run that without sudo, and we can see it's not running. Okay. I can do sudo. I don't think I need sudo at all. So let's do, well, yeah, I do. I don't think I need to for list. So we're going to keep doing it without sudo until we run into an issue. Firewall-cmd --list-all. So it's not running. So sudo, this one I do need it. So that's why I just know. Systemctl start firewalld. Oh. So now I can come back to the state and it should be running. And I can come back to list all, and it doesn't let me because I need a sudo. And there we go. So it currently is allowing SSH, DHCP, and NDDVS. So now if I come here, and I'm going to open up a new incognito window and try and go to this, Ctrl-Shift-N, and paste it, and it's not going to work because my firewall is now blocking it. In fact, HTTP. Yeah, so it's, let's see, continue to site. The site can't be reached. Okay, so it knows it's not secure, so it complained about that, and then it can't be reached because we've got a firewall in the way. Okay, so we need to fix that. So let's, we can see that HTTP is not allowed. So let's add HTTP. So if we do sudo firewall-cmd -zone, and the zone is right here, it's public, equals public. And we're going to do, why do I think this is 2 dashes? I'm pretty sure this is 2 dashes. --zone public --add -service HTTPD HTTP. Is it yeah. Firewall. Helps if I spell right. Okay, success. So now if I come up and list all, we can see HTTP is there. So if I come back to here and I hit enter, there we go. It's back open. So now we have a network-based firewall and an OS-based firewall to keep things safe, which is good because we should have multiple layers. In fact, I think of this as a funnel. I think of it kind of as a reverse funnel. So if we think about Maybe you want to block things that are coming from a different country. So we block only from our country. But what if we only want to allow stuff from maybe even our local city? So we block even more. And then maybe we only want to allow things on campus if you're at a university. So there's that way. But also from a system standpoint, we might allow HTTP and SSH to everyone in the world. But, well, maybe only HTTP. Maybe we want to block SSH. So SSH we block to only maybe certain IPs. And that we might want to do at the OS level instead of at the network level. We might want to do it at the network level as well. Maybe at the network level we're blocking for certain areas SSH, but on the OS we want to be more specific than at the network level. So the network level we usually allow a little bit of flexibility, but when we get all the way down to the OS it's all blocked. Now there are times that companies have automated things really well, and then they block completely everything at the network level that's also on the OS. And they do both so that it's kind of like an onion, peeling back layers of the onion. If there's an issue with the network layer firewall, it's not a big deal because the OS has it. Or if there's an issue with the OS level firewall, it's not a big deal because the network has it. So you have 2 layers at least just to make sure you're safe. Okay, so we opened it up now, but the thing is, if I sudo systemctl stop firewall d.service. So it knew when I hit tab. If I stop it, and then if I try to list and see what's running, it's not running, so I can come back here, and I should be able to hit this no problem. Now I'm actually going to open this again though in an incognito, just so that we Control-Shift-N, don't have HTTP colon, don't have anything cached or anything, so it's not happy. So I might be getting blocked because it's HTTP, and my network traffic sometimes gets blocked by the place where I record these. So that's not good. Anyway, what I wanted to show you is we've stopped it. If I start it back up, so if I come back up here, system control, start firewall dservice, and now if I list all, wait, HTTP is not there. That's because I added it temporarily. So if I come back up here to where I added it, add service HTTP, all I need to do is add a -- permanent. Success. Now I can do a list all, and oh wait, and it's not there yet. So let's do a stop and a start and a list all. There it is. So permanent tells it to do it every time it starts up. But it looks like it doesn't add it at that point in time, which was interesting. I actually was not expecting that. Now there's one more thing that is a problem, because if in fact, let's just do this, sudo reboot. So I'm rebooting, so I'm kicked out, which it should keep the same IP and DNS name, just with a little reboot, but not if it shuts down, waits a little bit, and boots back up. So when we log back in, which hopefully it's up now, not yet, almost. I know it's almost because it got connection refused. If it didn't get connection refused, it just sat there, it's not quite as hot. So it should be up now. See, pretty fast. So if I do sudo firewall command list all, it's there and it's running. So I wasn't sure if it was going to enable it by default, but it looks like it did. So it enabled it to restart on reboot. But that's just if we do that sudo system control, instead of start or stop, it's enable, which makes it in the boot sequence to check it. Okay, cool. So let's do history, and I'll include this in the video down below. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've learned a little bit about firewalls, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.